Every single day, my AI agency gets 5 to 10 leads from businesses ready to pay us the big bucks for AI solutions. In this video, I'm going to spill the beans on 22 of these AI solution concepts that are in high demand that you can start selling in 2024. Everyone knows that the AI space is a goldmine of opportunities this year, yet many are left on the sidelines feeling unsure on how to get in on the action. The biggest hurdle for beginners? Knowing what to sell. Thanks to this YouTube channel, my AI agency Morningside AI gets a ton of inbound leads. And in this video, I want to dig into this data and share with you all what AI solutions businesses are ready to throw money at in 2024. Better yet, my Discord and YouTube communities are packed with other agency owners who have found their own profitable AI solutions. And today I'll be sharing 3 success stories from the community, revealing their exact solution and how they're making money with it. I'm trying to pack a ton of value into this video for you guys, so we're going to be kicking off with the 3 community ideas before jumping into my ideas that I've got from my own agency's inbox, starting off with the beginner-friendly ideas and then ramping up to the more advanced but way more profitable solutions. There'll be timestamps along the bottom if you want to jump around to anything in particular, but stay tuned to the end because I have got a bonus idea that I think is going to explode that no one's really talking about right now. Of course, if you're new here and don't know who I am, my name is Ottley. I run my own AI development company called Morningside AI, and I also run the largest community of AI agency owners in the world, where I teach people how to make money by selling AI solutions to businesses, just like the ideas that I'm about to share with you. Before we jump into the video, I just want to ask you guys if you want to follow my Instagram. It'll be linked down below at Ottley. I've been starting to share a lot more of my behind the scenes of my life running my AI businesses and the travel that I'm doing. I'm here in Austria right now. I'm doing all sorts of cool stuff, really letting you see behind the curtain on who I am and what I get up to. So if you're not already following my Instagram, posting a reel every day over there, sharing my life. So you can follow that down below or just at Ottley. Now, let's dive in. I want to start off with these community solutions first, as you guys love to stop watching videos halfway through. So in order for me to shine the most light on these guys as possible, I'm putting them at the start. I'd really appreciate if you guys could go and show some love on the platform that they've provided, as these people are essentially sharing their winning products, to use like an e-commerce example, which they definitely don't have to do. So if you want to give some value back and show some love back to the guys who are sharing this for the community, please follow their platforms, engage with their YouTubes, Twitters, whatever it is. And to be clear, these are not just ideas. These are use cases that these agency owners are making money with. I put out a form to my Discord and my Telegram, and these were the ones that I like the most that were actually making money and successfully selling them. Number 1 is voice-enabled AI sales bots. This is from a community member called Samin Yasar from AIanswers.us. So Samin has been helping local businesses like tradesmen to automate their customer inquiries via phone lines with AI. I'll need to have a chat about the exact setup that he's using, but from the video on his website, he's allowing 24/7 bookings for HVAC companies, saving business owners time spent on the line and increasing bookings by apparently 20%, as 100% of the inbound calls to this company are actually being answered and a booking attempt is being made by the AI. Essentially, he's set up an AI to automatically answer and respond to all calls coming in, no matter what time of day, and it could always be like 100% answer rate, which is awesome. I love this use case, and he's following my recommended strategy of niching down to one solution or one niche, and has made $35,000 in 3 months. So of course, a massive congrats to Samin. He also has a YouTube channel, so if you want to go and show some love there, he's got some tutorials breaking down what he's doing. He's also got his website, all going to be linked down there. And of course, if you're a business who's interested in these kind of services, you can contact Samin down below. There'll be a link to his business as well. Number 2 is an e-commerce product recommendation system. This is by a community member called Brendan from Inflate AI. This one was really great to see for me because this is actually something that I first mentioned, this concept of an e-commerce product recommendation system, in one of these prior videos. So like the same kind of format I'm doing here. I think it was 2, either one ago or the one before. So Brendan has gone and taken that idea and run with it and built out an excellent voice flow prototype, not even a prototype, a fully fledged system that actually works really well. Essentially, customers can come on and say, hey, I'm looking for this, and then it will automatically recommend them and pop up a nice couple carousel cards even in the chatbot. So it includes an image, includes a link to purchase and check out the product page. Really cool idea and executed very well from what I can tell from the tutorial on his YouTube channel. So if you want to go and check out Brendan's tutorials, he's got a YouTube channel. You can go check that out down below as well. I'll leave a link so you guys can learn how to make your own e-commerce product recommendation system. I love this one because this is definitely the direction that e-commerce is heading at the moment. And Brendan here has put in the hard work to create the system and has reaped the benefits, generating 7,000 Australian dollars from just 4 clients, and has attracted some solid attention on YouTube by sharing this build as well. If you're an e-commerce store owner and you would like one of these built out, you can contact Brendan down below, be able to book in a call and get this thing built out for you. I really like what Brendan is doing here because again, he's following my recommended strategy of creating a niche solution And in this case, he's marketing it via YouTube videos, as I've done with my agency, to a specific audience. So he's including e-commerce product, Like he's making a YouTube video that he knows the kind of people that he can serve are going to be clicking on and interested in watching. So very good work, Brendan. That's awesome stuff. Thirdly, we have an invoice cleaning system for tradesmen. This is by a community member, Connor Davis from Outbox Solutions. So this is actually another Australian guy crushing it. Connor has created a cleaning system that uses GPT to not only spell check, but format and punctuate invoice descriptions for tradesmen before they're sent to the customers. So not known for their literary flair, tradesmen typically aren't great at describing the work that's been done. And what the system essentially does is ensures clarity and professionalism for the plumbing franchises that Connor's working with across their 14 franchise locations. Now, you may not think spell check and formatting is very valuable, but the key thing here is that this tool is used 100 times a day across all of the locations that they have, which is exactly what I was talking about over on my Twitter, which you're not already following. I share a lot of my thoughts and my solution ideas over there. So it's going to be linked here and linked down below if you're not already following me on Twitter to get this stuff first. But essentially what I'm talking about over there is that volume equals value. In this case, we have a very basic thing, which is essentially spell check and formatting. But because it has been done thousands of times per month, it provides a lot of value to the business. And that's really where AI in these solutions can shine, is when you have a lot of volume going through a system. Even if it's basic, it can be super value due to the amount of volume going through it. And from this one client, Connor is pulling in $1,176 per month. And from that, he's subtracting about $200 in usage costs for the APIs. Now, there's actually a fairly straightforward way that he can reduce this by 95%. I'd love to do it in a video. So if you want to know how you can reduce these costs, I can make a whole video on it. So let me know down in the comment section below. So if you guys want, you can go and connect with Connor on LinkedIn, where he's actually sharing some AI source and value on his LinkedIn. So the link will be down in the description. And of course, if you're a business owner who could benefit from some kind of solution like this, you can get in touch with Connor by going down to the description. There'll be a link to his agency and you can get in touch and start working with him. Seeing these guys from the community get out there and make moves like this nearly brings a bloody tear to my eye. You know, it was hard in 2023 for many of you. I know that it was hard for us at times as well. But starting these AI agencies is just hard because we're early. The tech itself is unreliable and hard to use at best. And customers really expect something that is out of our capabilities in many ways. And in general, they're skeptical of allowing AI into their business. We're definitely fighting an uphill battle at this point, but at some point it will get easier and this market will really mature and develop. And at that point, we'll all be in the perfect place to benefit from it. I'm so grateful to these guys for being open about their success. And I hope that I can bring them all the business and attention that they deserve through this mention in my video. So if you're another agency owner and you would like to be featured in my next video like this, there will be a form down in the description. I'd love to be able to shine more light on not only the AI use cases that are converting and making money, but also being able to jumpstart the personal brands and even the agencies and bring some clients to you guys through my audience of these hardworking agency owners like you. This stuff is hard because we are literally paving the way for future agency owners to follow, and there's no handbook on what to sell or how to sell it. We just have to figure it out. And unlike other business models, which have clearly defined strategies and offers like SMMA and drop shipping, but us mad dogs out here are really throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And so to those of you continuing to grind this journey out with me, I salute you and wish you the best for 2024. Okay, so jumping into some of my Morningside-based lead ideas, we're starting off with some simple GPT-based solutions for businesses. If at any point you don't understand what I'm talking about here, like tools or custom actions or knowledge bases, etc., you need to go and watch my complete guide to GPTs, which I'll link up here. That teaches you everything you need to know about making money with GPTs over an hour long, and it's essential for anyone looking to make money in the AI space by selling these GPTs and AI agents this year. GPT idea number one is AI personas for creators. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know what an AI persona is, but essentially it's, if I want to create an AI persona of myself, I would take all of my YouTube videos and some of my course material and stuff like that. I would stuff it into a knowledge base and make an AI version of myself. I'd prompt the system to be Liam Ottley and you respond this way and you do this. So making an AI version of someone, and I've covered this on the channel elsewhere. I'll put a link to this up here if you want to watch my AI persona guide. It might be a little bit outdated now. I should probably do a new one. But I think that soon all creators will have their own GPT or their own AI persona as a GPT, which is kind of publicly available AI that allows them to connect with their fans and at any time to really tap into their knowledge. The reason I think that creators are going to adopt the stuff is because they can put their affiliate links and their links to programs and any kind of monetization that creators do already on their channel, they can make that available through the GPT. So put all your knowledge in, you allow people to interact with it, then you can create different tools that allow users to do cool things with the creators thing. like, I don't know, generate some kind of script. I could feasibly see creators offering maybe a 20% revenue share for any conversions that come through the GPT for the person or the agency managing it. You'd be kind of required to update and curate the knowledge base as they upload more information, sort of release new programs and stuff like this. You'd also be on the chain for rigorously testing it to make sure it's not doing anything it's not supposed to. And you'd also be in charge of creating custom tools that allow the AI to do cool things and increase usage, increase retention of people that are actually engaging with it. If anyone wants to test this idea, I'm sure you can make a GPT out of me and send it to me on Instagram or whatever platform you want. And then the second use case for GPTs I see is kind of like a subcategory of streamlining AI workflows for companies. This is kind of based on the fact that GPTs are a great way to standardize the use of ChatGPT across an organization. So right now, lots of small to medium-sized businesses are already using ChatGPT in a number of ways for their copywriting or for analyzing CVs or all these different kind of use cases that you'd use or you'd be familiar with. Companies are using this, but they're interacting with the regular ChatGPT interface, and they're passing around massive prompts between the company. They've got like prompt banks and stuff like this. What GPTs allow you to do is to really consolidate that and standardize the experience and make tools and specific GPT experiences to do these things without having to make a kind of a pass the prompt around game. This is essentially using ChatGPT for the interface of the AI agent you create, which is super handy because you don't have to build a fancy interface or front end. And it's really a low cost way for you to be able to provide value for these businesses. Personally, I wouldn't be charging more than maybe a couple $100 to set up the following GPTs for businesses, but they're a pretty good starting point for beginners. You can either create a GPT by function, e.g. maybe a product description assistant or generator, or you can create a role-based GPT that helps a specific type of person in the company, e.g. an online store manager, where you bundle a whole bunch of tools that you create, like the product description generator, into one GPT, and they can kind of use this tool as their hub and their base of doing their job, basically. So give me a product description for this, paste in the thing, and you have all these different tools that that particular role can use. First GPT idea in this subcategory is a company documentation assistant. Now, I have touched on this before on the channel, I think in a previous video like this, essentially a SOP or standard operating procedures documentation chatbot. This is a fairly straightforward thing to do, but can provide a lot of value to the business by standardizing access to all of the information in the documentation and how to do the role. So all you need to do is get the documentation or the standard operating procedure docs, the SOPs, and get all those documents, put it into a GPT knowledge base, and then send that off to your client and allow them to use that and pass it around to the different departments. Maybe you make a couple different GPTs for different roles so they get access to different documentation. You get the idea. Another idea for GPTs for companies like this would be an AI personal assistant. So you can identify some of the key tasks that the entrepreneur running the business or the executives running the business do often and create a tool and add that to your GPT and allow them to come in again and have this kind of work hub or workstation where they can do key functions of their job just from the GPT or ChatGPT interface. So they can come on and say, can you please check all the Slack channels and see if there's anything that I need to do? Or can you please go on and notify about this or this? Another really great idea for a GPT is a content creation or repurposing assistant. So this would be a GPT that helps you to generate maybe short form scripts or tweets or YouTube community posts, etc. In order to do this, you need to create tools on Relevance AI. And again, I haven't done my complete guide on Relevance AI. I have done a partial guide for GPT tooling with Relevance. It's basically a low-code, no-code builder that allows you to create really powerful tools without needing to know too much, and super easy connection between Relevance and creating it and adding it to your tool. I do have a complete guide to Relevance AI tooling on the way, so if you want me to rush that out, let me know in the comments below. Essentially, what you do for this GPT is to create a tool that generates a tweet thread and a tool that generates a short-form script and a tweet that helps generate a section for a newsletter. So for myself, I'd probably want to be taking a link to one of my YouTube videos. Say I could take this YouTube video, put it into my GPT and say, hey, can you generate a tweet thread out of this? Can you generate a newsletter section? And can you generate a couple of different short form scripts? So I'd paste that link in, that would use it on each of these different tools. And these tools on Relevance AI, I will have given it a couple of examples of my prior tweet threads or my prior short form scripts that have converted well. And then what the tool would do is it'll take the link from that video, get the transcript of it, would pass it through a set of LLM steps that I've prompted to essentially use my past examples, and it would output maybe 3 different tweet thread ideas. So this kind of thing, I actually need to create it myself, and I have been thinking of doing it. So if you want me to give a step-by-step walkthrough on how you can create this kind of repurposing or content assistant that's a GPT, I'm more than happy to do so. Just let me know in the comments. This is needed by basically all creators and entrepreneurs right now, so there is a huge demand for this kind of solution. Another idea would be a sales assistant. This works if you have a sales department in a company and you have a bunch of sales reps. You need to identify the repetitive tasks that these sales reps are doing over and over and over again in their sales process. It might be, I don't know, enriching the leads and getting more information on them. It might be pre-qualifying before calls. It might be preparing call notes before you jump on the line. And what you need to do is create a tool for each of these little functions. And you could say, hey, can you get me some more information on this person? You pass their name and their LinkedIn URL, and it gives you back some more information. Or better yet, it can even interact with the CRM. And you can say, hey, this is the person I'm about to call. Can you go into the CRM, pull their LinkedIn URL, enrichment, get some call notes ready, and trigger all these functions. And it can actually connect to the CRM and provide updates in real time. Essentially, this could be a co-pilot for your sales department. So when they're doing their job, they've always got this open, they can be making calls, they can be doing things, and they've got this GPT that really helps them to do a lot of the stuff super easy through natural language. That's all we got for GPTs, but before we jump into the next section, if you are enjoying the video, if you have got any value out of it, please head down below and leave a like on the video. It really helps myself and the channel and my team out to continue what we're doing in the space. And of course, if you like this kind of content, you want to make money with AI, you want to build businesses and make a life you truly love living, be sure to head down and subscribe to the channel. A lot of you people who watch my videos aren't even subscribed, so if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe down there and you can be notified whenever I make new videos like this. Now we get into AI agents. So GPTs are one thing, but creating AI agents that can be deployed to platforms and embedded into workflows within companies are an entirely different market that you can address this year. To be fully transparent, this is where my focus is for the year, as myself and the team at Morningside continue to build Agentive, my AI SaaS platform, into the world's leading platform for creating, deploying, and managing AI agents. All of the following agent ideas can be made on Agentive in just a few hours. First, we have a customer support agent. Now, I know you're rolling your eyes, like, oh, customer support's dead, no one wants to buy it, but customer support is still a key part of a business that can be assisted or completely automated by AI. Again, this goes back to the concept of volume equaling value. In this case, many types of businesses receive high volume of customer support queries, and being able to automate the system using an agent in this case that's more advanced than your typical AI customer support chatbot or even just a standard one. What agents can do, you can stuff it with a bunch of functions and tools that allow it to do key things. Like you can instead of it just being a question and answer bot that has a knowledge base, you can have a refund tool that can start to process a refund, and they provide their order number and their email, and you're able to give them live updates on where their order is. So adding in these kind of features, maybe leaving a review, these kind of functions and tools that really make your solution become an AI agent rather than just a boring AI chatbot is what's going to allow you to have the edge and be able to sell these things this year. Maybe customer support isn't the core of your offer because it's not as exciting, but on the flip side of that, customer support may be more familiar, and so it's easier sort of Trojan horse to get into businesses and get your foot in the door. So maybe making a really awesome customer support AI agent and then giving that away for next to nothing or even for free is a great way for you to get in the door with businesses, build a bit of trust, then be able to upsell them on all of these different cool things that I've been talking about in this video. And next, we have lead generation agents. Yes, sticking to the basics again, lead generation is still a core function of the business that AI can be a massive help with. When it comes to generating leads, there's a lot of volume involved, there's a lot of time, human time wasted talking to people or getting into conversations with people that are never going to be customers. So if you can get that first touch and where people first interact with the company to be as automated as possible so that the humans can focus on the qualified leads, then you're providing a lot of value to the business. So how can you actually implement a lead generation AI agent into a business? If you've been watching my recent videos, you'll know I did a solar lead gen AI agent that I deployed onto a website. This was with a voice flow integration that allowed me to put a website widget down in the corner. And this was able to both have a knowledge component and also a lead capture component and a cool tool. For lead generation website widgets, I'd recommend some kind of knowledge component so that customers can learn more about the business and the kind of things that they sell, or maybe the kind of area that the business is in. Then I'd also try to include some kind of tool like a calculator, as I did in the video, that allows them to interact more and show a little bit more intent. And then you can add in a lead capture tool that allows them to provide their information, and you can capture that lead after they've interacted with the tool. That's my kind of current model on how I do AI agents that are lead generation website widgets. And then secondly, for lead generation agents, I think there's a big opportunity for creating chat subdomains. And I haven't talked about this yet. This has been something I've wanted to get out and talk about for a while, but I haven't found an ideal solution that I'm ready to share with you. These AI agents are a little bit lame when they just confined to a little website widget down the bottom. So taking them out onto a full page chat interface, similar to ChatGPT, but for a company is a very interesting concept to me and something that I'm going to make a video on in the near future. So if you have the skills right now, putting them on their own kind of ChatGPT page and allowing people to interact with it that way might be a little bit better as a lead generation assistant. Next, we have outbound qualification agents. These kind of systems are typically done via outbound SMS. So when a lead is captured via your lead gen chatbot or any other kind of lead magnet that you have within the business or within your funnel, you can then pass that phone number that you captured over to this outbound qualification assistant. And you can use SMS to essentially get an agent to conversate with this person and say, hey, look, like how much money are you making? Or where are you based? Like, blah, 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 blah. What kind of things do you sell? So do these qualification steps automatically via outbound SMS. And you can follow up after that lead has been captured. And then once you've confirmed that they are qualified, you can then book them into a call and kind of transition to a bit of an appointment setter, which we're going into next. By taking this outbound SMS idea or outbound anything really to be able to qualify before getting on a call with people and making sure that they're a good fit for your products and services is another great use for AI agents this year. Right now, this kind of thing is tricky to do, but it is a great upsell if you're already offering lead generation services. Then next, of course, we have an appointment setting AI agent. This is still a great use case. Appointment setting is one of the most painful things to hire for. Nobody likes doing it either. It's just a horrible job that humans shouldn't have to do anymore. And this, of course, is a massive market on things like Instagram DMs, where all sorts of coaches are trying to set appointments by their Instagram DMs. And then finally, for the AI agent section of this video, we have AI personas. Again, this time not the GPT form, the actual standalone AI agent version. If you saw Hormozi's recent Instagram post saying that he's partnering with School, he's saying that online communities are blowing up right now. And basically every online community or coaching program can benefit from some kind of AI that is a central hub for information that everyone in the community can go to for access. As I mentioned before, creating these AI personas of, say, someone like myself and my own paid community or even free community, you can take all of my information that I put out, either public or private or paid information, put it into a knowledge base, and then make an AI assistant or AI agent in this case, and add that to the community to provide more value and let people access that information and access key tools and functions as well. Maybe it might be, hey, my one might have a niche selection tool where you can have a conversation back and forth with me and I can help you generate some niche ideas for your business. So if you're going to be selling these AI personas, you can go to coaches or community owners and offer them a free trial to test it out. You can even enable it with some functions and cool tools to extend its capabilities. And I really think this whole area of creators, coaches, community owners is going to blow up this year. As Hormozi has said, he's seen the data, and this would be a very good and very wise place to be placing your bets as an AI agency owner this year. The next section of this video is what I like to call AI pipelines. Now, sometimes you don't need a conversational input or a conversational agent. What you need is kind of an AI function or a pipeline to be able to process data and do cool things and to be able to do valuable processes for a business. At times, all businesses need is a kind of function or a pipeline that you can throw some data at and say, do the process with that. Or they might want an entire spreadsheet of data to be run through at once. So it's like each row, they want the same thing done to it. So these are kind of AI pipelines is how I describe them. I like these pipelines because they go into this area of these high volume tasks where AI can really shine and provide a lot of value to the business. And as you'd probably expect, I recommend Relevance AI for creating these kind of pipelines. This is not a paid sponsor video. I just really like what they're doing for the kind of stuff that we are trying to create in 2024 and beyond. So if you're not already signed up, I highly recommend you check it out. I do have some videos coming on them. Complete Guide to Building Tools, which is coming very soon. So if you're not already subscribed, I'd subscribe for that because that's going to make you very dangerous and powerful as a business owner, as a freelancer in 2024. Relevance AI is my go-to for these kind of pipelines, not only because they make it very easy to create it with like a no-code function creator. You're essentially just creating a big function and creating it block by block, but you can also take that exact same tool and not just run it once. You can run it in bulk and you can do an entire spreadsheet of data and do the same thing on like 1,000 rows of data, which is very powerful doing this bulk run feature. First AI pipeline idea is, again, lead generation. This is a big thing that AI can really help with. But again, high volume equals high value, and one of AI's strength is rapidly analyzing data. So if you pick a niche and you can find a way to generate leads for them, either in bulk or on a consistent basis, using an AI tool or setup built on something like Relevance, then you have a way of generating and selling leads to businesses that need them. This one came to mind because over at Morningside, we had a client who came to us and their business was basically generating leads by pulling annual reports. I think it was in Germany, and they would pull annual reports from where all of them were stored for that particular country. And they need to manually go on there, download the report for each company and see if they had any particular, I won't mention what it is, but they were looking for one particular type of activity that these companies were doing, and that will qualify them for being a potential customer of theirs. So they were doing this manually. Now we're building them a system that can strip the entire company's register and get all of them and analyze them in batch once a year. And that's going to save them so much time. And so we're being able to charge quite a lot of money. So this kind of using AI to do high volume lead generation tasks and these kind of pipeline processes, I think is a really big opportunity if you can be smart about it and find a way of generating leads that not many people are thinking about. Or you can go to a business and identify that they're doing it a slow way and improve it like we are. Next, we have pre-qualification and call notes. This is similar to what I touched on earlier in the video for the GPT sales assistant. Essentially, if a business has a sales team that is given these lead lists for them to dial and contact, you can drastically improve the efficiency of their department by using some kind of AI pipeline to do research on the leads and attempt to pre-qualify them to ensure that no time is wasted by calling dud leads that are never going to be a client, right? What this pipeline can do is generate a summary of the leads info ahead of the call, and this can massively speed up the process for the salespeople. Not only will this pipeline be able to pre-qualify them before the call, so maybe it has their website link, their LinkedIn profile, and you're able to pull the information, scrape it, use AI in a pipeline to analyze that and determine if it meets a certain criteria, then that's pre-qualified. And then what you can even do is inside that tool is get it to create, okay, based off their company information on the website and the LinkedIn profile of the founder or the person you're going to speak to, here's some handy call notes and maybe a couple lines to use in the intro of the call. From the limited amount of cold calling that I've done, it was always helpful for me to be able to have some kind of information or background and these notes that would help me to be sort of more prepared when I get on the call and that they're not just some stranger that I know nothing about. So all these kind of things can massively speed up the process for the salespeople and help generate more sales for the company. Next, we have quite an easy one that you can build on something like make.com, which is just an email autoresponder. So as soon as the email hits the inbox, you can use an AI task to classify it into something that the AI can respond to or something that needs to be passed on. Then you can generate some kind of AI response based off a knowledge base, and you can send that email back. So super easy one that you can set up, not too complicated, but if people don't want to move over to a chatbot, setting up an AI-based autoresponder that can classify and respond to 80–90% of the queries is a good thing to set up for businesses as well. And the final pipeline idea for you is a CV evaluation pipeline. Now this is kind of close to home for me and the guys at Morningside because we've had to be searching over hundreds and hundreds, I think it's up to thousands of CVs now and go over applications for different roles that we're hiring for. This process takes so long. We put up a LinkedIn jobs post for, I think it was a full stack developer or another AI developer. We got 1,000 applicants. Then my business partner, Josh, and my CTO, Spencer, had to go through all of these different applications and try to whittle down to some people that we actually could hire. And I think they went through 1,000 of them and got to the end, and there wasn't one that they wanted to get in a call with. So one thing is shortlisting, another is actually getting on these calls. So even though we are an AI development company, we don't have time to build this kind of stuff for ourselves. If someone came to us and said, hey, I have a system that will allow you to hire super easily, you can just throw in a massive spreadsheet full of data, and it's going to be able to go against a criteria that you provide. Maybe I prompt it and say, we're looking for someone with this kind of experience in this, need to be based on this, and have these kind of skills. And I can pass that prompt into the system, and it's going to be able to go through and shortlist, at least get down to a shortlist that we can get on calls with. This kind of thing, again, is volume-based. If there's a lot of volume involved in the task, you can use AI to really shine because it can do things without complaining and do things very quickly. So I love this kind of CV thing, anything related to hiring. I think there's a lot of value here. I really think there's a great use case here and it can provide a lot of value to businesses. Finally, getting into the last section of this video, we're going over outbound AI calling systems. You may have noticed that this is similar to what Samin earlier in this video was doing, but his is on inbound calls. So he's setting it up on a number and waiting for calls to come in. In this case, I'm talking about outbound calls and using AI calling systems to get in front of customers, to initiate those calls and to do things on an outbound basis rather than waiting for them to come to you. To put a disclaimer that these kind of systems are very new, but they do offer huge potential if they can be implemented right. And I think it's really one of those use cases that's just going to explode over the next couple of years. And we can be the first ones there and really be facilitating the adoption of it if you know what you're doing. I'm not entirely sure that the technology is there to be able to deal with every use case imaginable, but for the use cases that are really high volume, I do think that this could be highly valuable to businesses in many ways. So I've got a couple of different use cases that you can use this outbound AI calling for. This is primarily based around Bland AI, which is a company that's doing some really, really awesome stuff. I think they've got their response time down to 400 milliseconds or something. So like sub half a second response time. So you're on the phone, you say something, it's less than half a second by the time it's generated the response, generated the voice, and then sent it back to you. So very impressive stuff what the Bland team is doing over there. Jumped in the Discord, so I'm going to be exploring some of the solutions a little bit more. If you want me to expand on any of the ones that I'm talking about here, let me know in the comments and I'd love to do a full build out and show you guys how to actually set it up, because not only on this channel do I give you the ideas and share this data with you, but I also can build these things for you and give you guys the templates you need to start selling it yourself. And I will add that not only can these Bland systems do sub half second response times, they also have tool usage, meaning you can trigger a function and you can capture a lead, or you can update their form or book an appointment, or all these kind of things. You can do tool usage from these AI phone calls, which I think is just like insane at the moment. So I'm really excited to share some of these ideas with you. So first use case for these AI cold calling systems built with Bland AI is a cold calling or first touch system. This is really the most painful part of most businesses, that everyone knows they should be doing cold calling, but no one does. So creating and selling these systems will allow you to give businesses the ability to be able to make thousands of cold calls a day. As long as you have the lead generation capabilities to back that up, you can be making tons and tons of calls per day. And if you're setting up things like, okay, let's take a look at what are the highest performing scripts, let's be optimizing this over time. You can get to a point where eventually you have a cold calling script that this AI goes for that is converting at a very decent rate, considering you're able to do these for basically pennies on the dollar and send them out en masse without ever having to pick up a phone. I love this use case. I'm not sure how effective it is right now, but I'm sure people are going to be able to figure it out. And this thing brings more business in for businesses. It brings sales in. It's directly correlated to adding more money to the top and bottom line. So love these use cases. I think this is going to be a real big one for this year. Second use case for this could be customer support. So you can do some outbound customer support things where someone might send an email in and they might be complaining about something. Then you can send an outbound customer support call to them and say, hey, we'll get in touch with you shortly and figure this out. You can send an outbound customer support call to them and give customer support to people who may not want to be typing around on a computer. Maybe you have an older demographic and a phone call is better than them just typing away. So this kind of outbound customer support could be a cool use case as well. Another handy one could be for surveys and follow-ups. You can reach out to people who are past users of your service and say, hey, how did we do? Can you leave us a review or a rating? And do outbound surveys like that. Or you can do automated follow-ups in the same way, where they reach out after they've provided their information. You can follow up with them and say, hey, look, by the way, this. So follow-ups handy, surveys handy as well. And finally, of course, lead qualification and appointment setting. This, of course, would be a great one. As soon as their lead comes in, instead of doing some sort of outbound SMS, you can do outbound calling and get in touch with them and say, hey, how can I help you? What kind of time works for you for a call? Do some qualification steps and use the tool users to be able to book in a call with that as well. So not only can you do those outbound SMS like we talked about earlier using an agent, you can use this outbound calling to do the same thing. And I know some of you are looking at me and thinking, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. No one would ever buy this, blah, blah, blah. Well, Samin, the guy that I mentioned earlier in the video from our community, he has made $35,000 doing the same kind of implementation as this, only on an inbound basis. So if he's been able to figure out how to make $35,000 in 3 months, then there's definitely some kind of money here for other people doing it, not only on the outbound basis, but inbound as well. And finally, my bonus idea as promised. This was initially discussed on my Twitter, so you can follow that if you haven't already. Personally, I'm very excited for the growth in this self-operated computer space. So to me, I think the next step in AI is for us to be able to prompt our computer or our browser and for tasks to automatically be completed for us in real time. So for example, I could go onto my browser and click a little Chrome extension or a little pop-up in the corner and say, can you please follow Sam Altman on Twitter and like his most recent tweet? And then the AI would take control of my browser and do the action requested. So this stuff is literally already happening. It is a GitHub repo called self-operating computer that you can use a demo and you can tell it to operate your computer and tell it to open up, like go on and browse Wikipedia. So it will operate your computer. So I personally see this as the next step, and that AI is going to be able to do more advanced and complex functions by operating our browser in the short term. There's really 2 routes for these AI assistants to be able to do stuff for us and be real good AI assistants and be able to say, hey, can you find a restaurant and do this? There's 2 routes. One is going the self-operated computer route, where we're using vision models to control it like a computer. And the other route is using APIs and having an agent that can basically call all these different APIs and do things. I personally think that the vision model side, that the self-operating computer route is going to be done sooner. And so we're going to start to see these pop up, but eventually the API one will be a thing. So I think it's exciting that this year we may start to see these self-operating computers be able to be like leased out as AI employees. So you could be an AI agency and you've got a couple different virtual machines set up with this self-operating computer software and system on it. And then you can lease those systems and machines out to different businesses. And they could say, okay, you have just hired 2 AI employees off us. You can tell them what to do. And so you could connect in the Slack and you can be able to prompt it and say, hey, can you do this, this, and this? And then that AI machine, the virtual machine, is going to be operated by AI and do the task for the people. So it's like hiring and a computer with no one sitting in front of it, that's your AI employee. This, of course, is just an idea, but I do think this stuff is going to explode. And it seems super cool to me, this concept of self-operating computers. And even that rabbit thing that popped up is essentially using a large action model to do exactly what I was talking about. So it's definitely the route we're going. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops this year. And that's about all I've got for you in this video right now. I hope that was enough. I kind of put everything I could in here for you guys to get a good start on 2024. And you really use these things that we are seeing business want over at Morningside AI, and also sharing these wins from the community. We'll be able to pull this together for all of you to be able to take these. There's a massive market. There's enough room for all of us to share. People always ask me, like, oh, Liam, why would you make YouTube videos when just make more competitors for yourself? There is no way on earth that I could possibly try to take even 1% of the market that we have here. It'll be ridiculous for me to try and gatekeep this entire thing. So it's a weird way of saying thank you to complain about me sharing it, but I couldn't possibly even take just one niche to myself. So go for it. I'd love more people in here. I like making new friends that are AI agency owners as well. We've got a great community, both free and paid. I've made some great friends out of it. So I really want to just build this community, and I'd love to see the progress we're all making together going into 2024. So if you want to stay in the loop on the latest AI solution ideas like these ones I've shared that you can sell this year and beyond, be sure to subscribe to the channel as I make these kind of videos fairly often, and I'm going to continue to allow community members to come and share, show a bit of light on them. So if you don't want to miss the next one where I give away validated AI solution ideas, make sure you head down below and subscribe to the channel. Please leave a like on the video. It really helps me and supports me in creating more of this kind of stuff. And leave a comment down below on which of these you think you'd like to see me build out in a future tutorial, and maybe which ones you're most excited to build yourself. I'd love to break some of these things down further for you in a future video and give you a template so that you can start selling them yourself. If you're interested in learning how to build GPTs and take your first steps into AI agent creation as a beginner, I have a complete 1 hour and 20 guide for you right here. But aside from that, that's all for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.